Meow. 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 What? Stop it. No. No. Oh my. That doesn't sound great. This isn't great at all. It sounds crackly. Is it crackly on your end? I must know. This is no bueno. So my cat is rubbing on me. My cat is rubbing on me. She wants attention. I can't believe it. She's interrupting. She's like, no. My cat. Oh my God. You guys don't hear anything like in the sound, right? No crackling, nothing. Okay, no crackles. No crackalackers. I hear you fine, Bill. I might have to take these out of my ears. I don't know what's going on. But maybe it's not important that I hear myself tonight. Maybe it's just more important that I speak and don't listen to myself. So I'll do that. Sometimes, I guess, that can be a good thing. And other times, well, it can still be a good thing. Nice seeing you guys. Showed up late for Robert Owens. It is pretty late, actually. It's 1 a.m. It's pretty late. We'll see if we get any other visitors. We have a lurker, somebody. Try this one more time. All right. All right. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Sorry for the interruption. Great to see you all on this late Wednesday night. Early Thursday for people like me. All right, so it's all right, so yeah. All right, so when your brain won't work, like when you just got ninja'd, like something just hit you in the brain and you just don't even know how to react. Man, no, I didn't know. No, I didn't know. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I did see lots of really good information already coming out about changing diets, flipping, your chemistry, your body chemistry. I've seen that. I've heard of that, and I think it's probably really good, sound information. And no sound, no sound, no sound. You can hear me. Okay, that's good, D. All right. Anyway, good information coming out. So do that, and also look into CBD, please, without beating a dead horse. There's just no good comments. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm praying for you, Kiki. I get awkward when serious stuff comes up. I have my whole life. I get awkward. I get so awkward. I do. I feel. And I mean, I dealt with a lot of, heavy deaths when I was younger. I'm not saying like immediate, like brother, sister, parent type stuff, and maybe some of you have, but I've had quite a few that have hit me really hard in my life, and you just, I don't know, you just start learning to adapt to that kind of information, I guess, in your own way. And you guys heard me. I started laughing. I don't know what else to do. It's like I don't have the perfect words for that kind of stuff. I just want everything to be awesome and good and pray, and it'll go away. And there's lots of really good information to help people fight this type of stuff. And the medical field has come a long way. And a lot of these remedies aren't just around CBD. There's so many different remedies that we're finding out that the earth heals us. Maybe that's where I needed to go with this. Earth heals us. It gives us the ability to heal itself. And a lot of it is diet based, but some of it is things that can put into our system that will help us, like CBD oil. And it's important to get it from a reputable source. It's just the information is there. These are things that people would fly all over the world to get their hands on when they were super mega rich. If they came down with something, they would fly all over the world to these different places to get their hands on the technology that's right in front of us. And instead, they want you sick, and they want you getting radiation. They want you going in there and getting into the medical spider web of leading diagnosis to leading diagnosis to leading diagnosis. They don't care. If you got a symptom, they got a cure. They'll write you a pill. They'll take an x-ray. They'll fix it. They'll stab you. They'll give you shots. They will do anything. If you have insurance, you bet your ass. You get in here. We will treat you for anything. Any type of hypochondriac kind of person that wants to be out there, the medical field, being covered under medical is your haven. I mean, they want to charge the wazoo into these medical carriers, these covers. Man, that's what they want. Coincidentally, I didn't mean to turn this into a Trump talking point, but this is exactly what he wants to get away from, is bringing the cost down on your meds, on whatever meds. Things that cost 2,000% less in Canada are the exact same pill that are that much 2,000% increased in the United States, all to bill the insurance carriers. It's all a big racket. And they don't care about curing you. That's the important part to remember when you start talking about a lifestyle change, when you start talking about getting into things that can heal your body, like herbs and a diet and these types of things. This is not a time in life for anybody to get a case of the fuck-its. You can't say fuck it. You can't. We have more hope right now that these types of things can be cured than ever before in history of mankind. And we even know that additional things exist, like vibrational wave theories. We know that they've been able to eradicate cancer since the early 1920s and 1910s through vibrational wave therapy. Cured 80 out of 100 the first week. The remaining 20% for week 2 got redialed in with a new vibrational wave, and it cured 100% of those remaining 20%. This was way back then. Cancers and all of this are manufactured things, but they are realistically and nonetheless things that will kill us. But we just have to be on top of that. You know what I mean? And maybe, you know what? I mean, I'm not only talking to you, KK. I mean, I don't get into thoughts like these unless I have to think about something like this, you know? And then I have to remind myself of these things. These aren't thoughts and any of that kind of stuff that I really take the time to sit and think about, like, how would I feel, or what should I do in this circumstance? But I you know, I do believe what I said. You know, I think there's a lot to be said for remedies that exist on this planet that don't involve going under a knife and don't involve radiating your body. So with that, let me just conclude. I am not a doctor or a physician. Not that anybody would ever confuse me with that. But if I were, that would be my prescription. Is try a few things first and see if you can get to go backwards. You know, try it. Do everything you can. You know, avoid medical if you can. That kind of stuff. Yeah. Anyway, well, that was big. All right. So round 2. What did I want to? Daisy. I'm trying to think why I originally wanted to come on. I think it had to do with what's going on with the coronavirus. And if you had seen the speech today at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll take a minute. Did anybody actually get a chance to see that? Any of you? And if you did you like get a chance to sit and watch it? And if you watched it, did you get a chance to like really sit back and like really watch it and listen to the things that were coming out of President Trump's mouth? Because I'm going to tell you what, I was like, huh, huh, huh. This man brutalized everything going on right now. What's up, Red Pill? He brutalized everything and everybody going on right now. Brutalized them. And it was fantastic. He was on the stage, not being an actor. He knew that he had the microphone for the world, because this was a briefing of the president on the current state of what's going on with coronavirus. And did you listen to these people trying to get questions into Trump anytime he took a pause? Did you hear these people and their panic in the press corps that are desperately trying to get answers out of him? Oh my God, you have to watch it now. Oh, you just have to like, yeah, you have to take everything he said in context. You do. You have to watch it when he finally said, we'll open it up to some questions. Holy cow. It was like shark infested waters, and they were coming hard. And what was awesome about him, this is what's great about Trump, is he understands and he reads the room. He gets the room that he's in. And he understood that these were rabid reporters that were shouting, trying to get answers out of him. And you know what he did? He pointed at somebody and he's like, yes, you. Yes, you. And then they'd ask their question and he would take it back, and he started slowing everything way down with how he responded to it. They were trying to show pandemic. He was showing, we're not so worried. I think we have this under control. I'm pretty sure we have this under control. It's pretty much under control. And then he'd say, yes. And they went, no. And they were going crazy. He's like, you. No, not you. You. And they'd ask a question like, oh, rabid. And he'd be like, that's a very good question. He would just sit back, and he answered it so calmly. And some would maybe we'll see this out there, is he was very much quite presidential in how he was handling this press conference and how he portrayed the world's leading people, the CDC, and the people that are just tops of everything. And even if they're not, it doesn't matter, because you have to believe it, because he does everything with the best. He's using all the best. He's using the best of everything because he's on the right side of justice. He is on the right side of good. And you just simply cannot take that away from the man. No matter how you feel about him and his character, flaws, which, look in the mirror. Character flaws, we got a million. He has a few too. None that he'll admit to. But they're there. Whatever. That aside, what's he doing for our country? What is he doing for our country? Exactly everything that he said he was going to do in that speech that I often play, and I played the other night, Our Movement, right? About replacing a failed and corrupt political establishment designed only to enrich itself at the expense of you, the American public. That and a million other things that he exposed. Exposed them 100% to us over the course of the last 3 years since that speech was made. They've mocked, ridiculed, belittled, went after his family, went after everything against this guy. The swamp is dying loudly. Their days are literally numbered. I labeled this title T-2. There was something I think that Jordan Sather put out that was talking about the silent war goes on. I think that's what it said in Q drops. And he looked at the last 4 times it was said, and they were placed throughout the history of the Q drops. The silent war continues. ... The next time it was placed out. And this is in dates from then going forward. So they're in chronological order as far as the next to 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 where we are now. The next time the silent war continues was ... So the first one had 5 periods, second one had 4. The next one, the silent war continues. ... The next one, the silent war continues. ... That one was just released recently with the silent war continues. Anyway, it's not my point. It's Jordan Sather's point. If you don't know who he is, look him up on Twitter, Jordan Sather, or you can find him, I think, on YouTube. Yeah, you still can. I forget the name of his channel, though. What's the name of his channel? It's pretty good. I don't watch it all that much. I did when he was early. But on Twitter, he's Jordan Sather. Yeah, I like most of the stuff too. What's up, Food Stamp? I read your comment and then realized who said it. I do too, Food Stamp. Nice to see you. Hey, Redneck Prepple. I see you here. Great Informer. You guys are all here. What's up? What's up? So, yeah. Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what's up. Now. All right. Well, maybe not now. Maybe in a second. Great Informer, you told a joke that I reread in the stream after I did my show. I watched it 2 days later, and I was reading in the live chat, and you told the joke, and I laughed hard, and I can't remember what it was. But you got me on one. Seriously, you did. It was pretty funny. I do not remember what one it was, though, and I'm sorry for that. But I knew I had to remind you to tell you that you tickled me a little. Yes. Yes, destroying the illusion. Thank you. Thank you, Jordan Sather, destroying the illusion. Anyway, he brought up the points of that. The silent war continues. T-2. That's what it's at. That's all that I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's T-2. Or so they say. So there's that. It's T-2. Right? Maybe. Mm-hmm. Could be. Don't know. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, so I wouldn't speculate on that myself. But to you, have fun. It's funny. So much of the conspiracies that are out there, I'm not a conspiracy theorist on. I don't get into the flat Earth thing. I just simply won't engage in it. I'm just not gonna. And other things, Bigfoot. I suppose UFOs a little bit, but I've in great detail explained what I felt about those on the Watchful Warriors live show on a call-in, and it was 2 weeks ago. And I was on the phone with him, Cheshire Cat, I was on the phone with them for probably like 30 minutes, maybe 20, maybe 40. I don't quite remember, but they let me go. And that could be dangerous sometimes. Can be. You guys know this. Um, difference is I can delete it on my channel, not on theirs. Nothing to delete, in all honesty. It was pretty good chat, you know, pretty good chat. Not bad. And I did see some of you in there. And I know that Mel said that James is listening. James, please, for the love of God, I have no idea why you're not here and how to fix it. I just have no ability. So if you have an ability to look it up on YouTube, like how somebody gets blocked, let me know, because I have no damn clue. Other than to say that a moderator, one of the mods, might have blocked you. I suppose that's possible. I suppose one of you mods might have blocked James and you got him blocked. And so he doesn't show up. So if you have James blocked, moderators, whenever you see this, or at least please just check that you didn't try to mute him and accidentally block him. That would be great. I'm almost convinced now that I say it, that's the problem. But I don't know why I wouldn't have to have the power to like see that. You know, that makes no sense to me either. I don't know. Whatever. I'm a damn whatever. Hey. Mel's the one that's probably got you blocked, James. I'm just saying. Mel, unblock James, please. All right. So all right, well, we'll see you when you get back, brother. Red pill. Well, thanks, Great Informer. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. You ever get about ready to say something and you're glad you caught yourself and stopped yourself with adulation? Well, guess what moment I just had? I got to rethink this going live thing a little better. Sometimes I'm getting a little bit too in touch with my feelings. For better, for worse. Usually for worse. Anyway, let's talk about the coronavirus. Right, food stamp. Right. Hmm. Kung Fu. It's interesting. Food stamp for sure. So there's probably something to that flu that you're referencing, but right now in the news is obviously corona virus. What I loved was Trump just wasn't having it. Just wasn't having it. Yeah, no need to rehash. I know, right? Mm-hmm. What do you think about that going forward, Mel, on that thought? Mel says, I think it's total plant population control. Introduce a new vaccine. Scum suckers. Or scum suckers. I think that's what it was. Yeah, I suppose that's true, Mazal. I'm sure if it ain't, if I'm sure it ain't a hoax if you're dead from it. That's fair. That's fair. Food stamp says they're using it to make people disappear. Maybe not many so far. None in the United States. Food stamp, would you say that they are using this in countries that could have information against and testify against? Be a great reason to take out people. Maybe knowing things under the auspicious coronavirus. I've thought about that, to be honest with you. I mean, yeah, they were in France. They were in Hong Kong. They were, yes. Well, France, they still are, but God bless them. But yeah, Corona has definitely quieted things down a bit. But although I can't quote the source, I'm quite certain that I did hear and read that it was a laboratory created disease, whatever. And my personal belief is it was used and launched against many different people that were about to get on airplanes and go certain places. And that's why Trump closed down air travel from certain areas 2 weeks ago. Don't forget, the Democrats absolutely filleted him. Chuck Schumer filleted him. Everybody filleted him. How can you shut the travel down? Well, now it turns out it was the best move they could make. Why do you think that is? Why do you think Trump would risk getting a black eye shutting down the air travel back then if they didn't know that the deep state was about to launch this hopeful pandemic? The reality is yes, they knew. That is why he is so calm, cool, and collected in that interview today on that big, broad stage. He had every opportunity to slowly draw it out and tell everybody how things are under control and all of this. And he milked it perfectly. I wouldn't say even over milked it. He milked it perfectly. He even got a 10 from the East German judge. We are watching a movie. There is attrition that's going to happen in this plan, this Great Awakening. Trump and the Q team knew all along that the deep state had the ability to try to launch things that would kill people. They don't have the ability to go in there and scoop them up. They have to let the deep state turn the evidence against themselves. They have to let them, because it's about moves and counter moves. If the deep state doesn't make a move, we can't ever counter move. So as bad as it is that people are dying and people are like, well, Trump knows who the bad people are. Why didn't you just swoop in and scoop them up and get them? You can't. The best they can do is react. They're prepared. And they have the intelligence to know that they were going to try to send this into America. Believe me, right now, they would have this going on in 50 states and have regions of states under quarantine. What do you think that would do for Trump's reelection? That lets us know we're watching a movie. They're ready for it. And he very calmly, and very presidentially delivered that to the people today with the highest ranking people within medicine and the Center of Disease Control, the CDC. He did that. He did that. And I think also on the conspiratorial side, I think he gave a lot of clues and a lot of hints about the things that were going on right now. And I think there was a lot of double speak in his meaning in a lot of what he said today. He talked and spoke about things exposing themselves. And I think it's, you know, they asked him about Pelosi and he destroyed her. Pardon me, again. He destroyed her. Absolutely destroyed her. The president's calling. Hang on, please. Hello. What's up? What's up, Jay? What's up? I don't have you on speakerphone. Hang on, and I think we have a delay. So I'm just saying. Okay. Well, it sounds like we have a delay. Hang on, I'll put you on speakerphone. 1 second. All right, guys. Well, say hello. We have a guest call in, Mr. Red Pill Marine. Jay, how are you?
What's up, yo? People, ladies and gentlemen.
I love it. Are you sure are you sure you have everything turned off in the background, Jay?
Yeah, what you got going on?
I don't know. We'll just keep going forward. I thought I had a little bit of echo, but I think we're okay. We're okay. What are you doing this fine evening, sir?
Well, I just got done doing a major haircut to a jarhead. And he actually looks like a jarhead. It looked like he had a mop on his head. And now he acts like a jarhead.
How old is he? How old is he?
54.
He's 54?
Yeah.
You gave him a haircut? You gave him a haircut?
Yeah. He's staying with me for a couple of days.
All right, I love it. Attaboy, attaboy. I love it. I love it. Did you give him a high and tight, or did you give him 0 to 3 inches tapered?
No, I gave him the razor.
Gave him the razor.
He got Bill and McNabb. He got a Bill and McNabb haircut. To go to go.
He sounds like a handsome man and a double dog. Out.
But he also said he had thoroughly enjoyed watching you and what you're saying. And this is his first time watching you, so I told him he's gonna. I was gonna set you up so you can watch the rest of your videos.
Yeah, well,
he thoroughly enjoyed watching you.
Well, I appreciate that. So, thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks, man. It's good to have you.
He just got to start
He's just now starting to get red pilled.
Yeah. So
Well, good on you, brother. Good on you. You tied into a good one in Red Pill Marine, Jay. He is a good one to listen to. He's got a lot of information that all rings very much into truth. So if he's telling it to you, pretty much, you're getting shot straight.
I'm definitely not ready to show him what's going on the floor right now in Congress and all that stuff, because it'll make zero sense to him. Absolutely no sense to him and why Pelosi wears certain things and why the guys wear certain color ties.
Oh yeah.
What they mean and what they signify and what the red shoes. He has no idea about that. So
well, that's
he will surely get there.
That's okay, buddy. That's okay, because I think when you get to introduce those kinds of things, it'll be because you introduced what Q is, and Q always told us what Q always said.
He hasn't seen Q yet. I'm going to show him Q after we hang up.
Okay, well that'll be cool, because Q always said that their symbolism will be their downfall. So it'll be the things that they do, the things that they show and represent, and the things in the arts and the witches and the craft and all that. You know, all that stuff that's put in front of us. So that's awesome.
Right.
That's awesome. I'm glad to have him here.
Their signs will bring them down.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's all over the place. And after all these years, it's taken us generation after generation to wake up and realize that it's been right in front of our faces the entire time.
That's right. And these are things that we have had to learn through awakening, that these things, you know, these are things that were embedded into our memory, and they still are. There still is so much. So awesome, brother. Awesome. Did you have something else on your mind, man?
Whatever you got. Anybody got any questions?
I don't know. We can see if the chat's got any questions. I'm happy to have you and your friend. Did your friend want to say anything tonight?
You want to get on there and talk? Say what you need to say. Just get out and say what you want. Yeah, I got it. Here, gotta get on the phone right here.
All right.
I'll stand by, brother.
All right. All right.
Hey, Bill.
Yeah. Who am I speaking with?
My name is Rick. Damn, I can't talk right. My name is Richard, but I go by Rick.
Rick?
Yeah. I just started watching your publishings here within the recent days.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
And you made a lot of sense.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Why? That's awesome.
And not only that, if it wasn't for Jason, I'd be out on the street because my sisters got into this Islam bullshit. I married the bullshit, and it's like, nah, I'm not into that.
Yeah. So that, like, what, that kind of outcasted you?
Yeah.
So you met Jason how?
I met Jason when he lived on the corner house half a block from the house where I was living out with my sister.
And I understand you got a haircut today.
Yeah.
And did it bring you back to boot camp?
No, because it actually ain't finished yet. Because I still got to break out the razor and finish off the stubble.
Okay. So Rick, do you have a beard? Do you have a beard?
Yeah, I got to go too.
You got a goatee.
Yeah.
All right. All right. And you got a goatee and you got a new barber.
Yeah.
And I got a new fan. Thank you so much for coming on, Rick. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, man. And the best of luck to you. And stick by Jay. He'll point you in the right direction, man. He could be your North Star. He is full of good wisdom.
Yeah, he's the best one I ran across.
Yeah, well, don't tell him I said that. It'll go to his head.
Right. But I appreciate it.
Absolutely, buddy. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming on to the show.
All right, thanks.
All right, buddy.
I'll let you talk back there.
I look forward to seeing you in the chat, Rick. Thanks for watching.
Not a problem.
All right, buddy.
Yo, what's up, Telephone?
Yo, what's up, Hard Charger? How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, buddy. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot.
I'm looking in the chat and I'm not seeing anything about anything that other than talking about him.
He sounds like a
Or
good,
anything like that.
sounds like a real good, pure-hearted guy. Said he's not done his haircut yet.
Oh, he just got to trim up. Oh, he's picky like me. His hair looks fine, but he's supposed to good. He knows all this hair.
Nah, of course not. And, you know, that's coming from two bald guys who think that any hair would be awesome hair. So there ain't nothing wrong with anybody's hair. It's got it.
Exactly.
Man, I had
All right.
I had awesome
I
hair.
just want to say hey to the gang.
Yeah, buddy. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Some people that I love them and I miss them, and we'll see each other. Hopefully, we see anyone else see each other soon.
Yeah, well, you're gonna be in the manuscript because we're making a movie. At least we're writing a script, so that'll come at a later date. I'll tell you more about it. We decided tonight.
All right. Real nice. So
Well-
I think I should start him off with Q with Save the World, and then the second one, the second Q that made.
I would just give him the first one, and I would give him the Our Movement speech, and then I would give him the Q movement to save the world. I'd give him those two.
So what's the R movement speech under? Is it R movement speech?
If you don't have it, you're not going to be able to find it on YouTube, but I saved it into my favorites. So as soon as I hang up with you, I'll send it to you. It's President Trump. It's commonly known as the speech that got
I
Trump.
know what it is.
I call it the R.
Can you drop it can you drop it?
Hell no. I'm a mental midget, dude. I can't do that. I have to send it to you. Because I don't have it saved on the computer. I have it saved into my phone. I don't have it saved.
Headless, where are you?
What?
Headless, where are you? To save Bill's ass.
Oh, Headless Horseman, right? I know. Genius. He's like, man, I just know how to use a functioning computer, you fucking brainiac.
Oh my God.
Headless knows.
You're definitely a Marine. If it doesn't have directions, picture directions, you can't fill it out. Period.
Well, I don't hear you coming up with many good suggestions there, Mr. Genius.
Hey, shut up, man. Oh, yeah, I had a question. Do you have room in your closet? I got some stuff for you.
Fuck you.
I do.
Fuck
I got
off.
some stuff for you. You got room in your closet?
Oh, yeah, I do. I got plenty of room. What do you got?
Cool. Hang this up.
Hang this up, he said. Well, that was a pleasant surprise. That was funny. So I kind of missed what you guys were sort of saying. Food stamp looks like food stamp went on a little food stamp. What do we got here? All right. Giselle is feeling fine. Mel. All right. Kid friendly. What's your name? I like it. Oh my. Food stamp. Is your other handle like Food Stamp the Clown? You like got a performing show and a squeaky horn and a squirting flower and big shoes, tiny hat. Maybe. Probably not. Right. I'm way behind the channel. I think that's what's up. Right. Anyway. So that was a fun discussion. I liked getting into that. We started talking a little bit about what's going on. More awakening, right? Right? Food, right? Not food stamp. I do. That's the second time I did that. Food stamp reminds me of Red Pill Marina, I guess. Kind of. I think I do kind of put you guys in the same category, although I've never spoken to you, food stamp. It's funny. But that's happened twice now, so it's not a mistake. It's not a mistake. That would explain a lot. A 40-year-old white guy. Makes a whole lot more sense. That's so funny. But it was great. And he now has somebody that's starting to open their mind to the truth. Like, guys, there's going to be separate degrees of what really, really happened when it's all said and done and they write the complete gospel book on the entire thing. There's going to be little misnomers to the left and to the right. But don't let that ever take away from the message of what this represents. And it could never be more clear now than when you see, even with with the virus, Trump requested $2.5 billion. Chuck Schumer said he's not taking it serious. He's not asking for enough. Trump turned the tables tonight on his live broadcast. Just another, I'm getting blocked now. I can hear it in my things. But he had another brilliant move tonight. Another brilliant move. And he said, hey, I requested what we need. If they want to open the door for us to take, or I'm getting what I think will solve this. But if they're opening the door to more funds, of course we're going to take them. We're going to use whatever we need in order to fight and combat this coronavirus. There's two very different ways to look at that. You can look at Chuck Schumer and say, yeah, he didn't ask for enough. He should have requested $8.5 billion. And he says $2.5 billion gets us off the ground for the next 4 weeks. Let's assess. Let's stop. Let's think about it. He's a businessman. And he also knows that had he released $8.5 billion, that the deep state would have put it into all the different special interest groups that had to do with the CDC. Because believe me, they exist. They exist in every form of government, every form of business. They exist, and they're taking cuts. There's a reason that over 200 CEOs of the Fortune 500 companies in the last 2 years have retired. There's a reason that the CEO of Disney retired 2 days ago. And these things have to do with corruption, and they have to do with pedophilia. They have to do with all of these different things. All of them. And when the final story is all said and done and everything is told, we're going to be made aware of all of it. Remember, Q said that the choice to know will be yours. That means that the information is going to be there. It's not going to be covered up. So the choice to know will be yours. And some of us just happen to know the choice to be there is ours, and we've accepted it. And we'd rather know the truth than to be lied to another day in our life, right? That's how I feel. I thought it was really, really cool. Q did a couple drops today, but Q dropped, what is it? The Armor of God. I think it's Ephesians 6:25, I want to say. I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure it's Ephesians. But I started reading this. You guys want to hear something like kind of weird? I don't really know that I believe in like prophetic things, but as I read this, I started to, this is going to sound really, I don't know. I don't mean it to sound anything other than how I felt, okay? That's how I mean it to sound. But as I read this, I started to put myself in the position of these understandings, and I finally started to understand that when it spoke about the armor of God, and it talked about all the things that you should be doing within your life, to me, for the first time, they didn't mean that you have to absolutely be scriptural knowledge to what this scripture means. It means that these things need to be possessed inside of you. They have to be possessed inside of you over a history of life. And so when I read it tonight, and I swear to God, this was the passage when I was in high school and I was in a Christian rock band. We were nobody. We did nothing. We played like 2 gigs, okay? But we were so much into Striper, who had they had their little Bible verse like Isaiah 53:5 or something like that. I don't remember what it was. We wanted to emulate them and be a Christian rock band. So in our little Bible verse was Ephesians, I can't remember it, but it's this one about the armor of God. We already had our first album all mapped out. It was going to be called Armor of God. I was in 10th grade and on fire for Jesus. Oh, man. So I want to read it to you, though. I want to read it to you because today I read it and I was really actually kind of profoundly struck. I was a little bit. Not in any kind of way other than I think it finally makes sense. So let me just read it to you this way. All right, from the Bible. Finally, be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Therefore, put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you've done everything to stand firm, and then, with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, and with the breastplate of righteousness in place, and with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes with the gospel of peace. In addition to all this, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. And pray in the Spirit on all occasions with all kinds of prayers and requests. With this in mind, be alert and always keep on praying for the Lord's people. Q. Isn't that an interesting way? Q. That's how that goes in the Bible. Q. It was rather profound. I thought about it for the first time, and I thought, I'm a backsliding Christian that believes in the Bible, believes in God, believes in Jesus. I believe in it. I do. I think there's just so much that points to the direction that it's true, but it's hard to live up to it every day, and to the point where it becomes exhausting. And that's, I guess, where they talk about falling short of the glory of God is a natural thing, but it's important that when we do, we do try to humble ourselves. For me, and this is just my belief. If you don't believe this, that's okay. You're all right. You can still watch my channel. It's fine. I'm not real judgy at all. But for me, I try to live by a code, by an honor of some sort. And people would maybe call that brainwashed, religion. All that, you're brainwashed, man. But I don't know. There's a lot of things that get answered through Christianity, both good and bad. But when you consider what you consider bad, generally had to do with going above the principles and the works of God. Generally, I don't know. It's not a perfect science. There's lots of things to discredit that too, but there is a book that's been around for so long that especially points you in the direction of being a good person. And other than that, or in addition to that, that if people don't want to abide by your message of Christianity, what are you supposed to do? Kill them? No. You're supposed to wipe your feet of them and dust them off on your feet and move on your way. You can just only give the message. They're not infidels. They're not people that you need to crush, kill, anything. It never was the message. It never is the message. Man got involved in the Word of God and put their interpretation into it, and boom. You had the Roman Empire, the Visigoths, done. The Crusades, horrible. Crusades are horrible. They were so bad. In the name of God. What? What in the name of God? But somehow through it all, we've been given signs, and we've been given, even as short ago as the deep state, or the deep state, the Dead Sea Scrolls. That's what I meant to say. The Dead Sea Scrolls, which verify parts of the Bible, from the crossing of the T to the dotting of the I. Not just another coincidence. I don't pretend to know it all, not even close. And you know what? I don't think I'm going to burn in hell for saying that I don't know that I believe everything in a book. I don't know that I do. I believe in the really, really good stuff, though. I do. I think the Old Testament, I don't know. I'm still trying to sort out like how things got so bad that God made a son to come here and kind of blend the Old Testament into the New. But I get the message, and I get what he did in the scriptures, the Gospels. I get that. I read them. I love them. I love them. But I do have a hard time pairing those two things together, a little bit. And I don't know. Maybe I'm just in my infancy in my spiritual walk. Maybe. But maybe that won't be held against me, because I might feel this way when I die, when I'm 105 and finally a bachelor. These are things that I might think about, but I don't know. We got bigger fish to fry right now, right? We don't have to solve the Bible. Let's get the deep state. Let's bury them under a prison. We know what we're up against. Oh, that's the point I wanted to make about reading that scripture. That's what I wanted to talk about, is that I think it mostly has to do with you being awake. But these things that it references that you should be in the final day are not references to specific scriptures within the Bible. They're talking about things that need to exist in you as part of your foundation, your own personal constitution. What you believe in. And if they are of good moral character, then they will be in line with these things that it says you need to be guarded with. And I would just submit, for me personally, I got most of the first 5 or 6 down, but I probably need to take on the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, because some of that I don't know so well. But the other stuff, I think I'm sailing pretty good. And I don't know, maybe there's other warriors like you guys out there that feel the same way. Like, yeah, man, I get that. I feel like I'm that way too. And that wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me even in the least. Because I would say that if you actually kind of look at it that way and feel that way and kind of look at how you look at the truth movement and everything that's going on in front of us, the Q movement, you have discernment. You've just taken it all in. You've battled tons of battles and you just listen to people and you continue to listen to his message and the things that he delivers and speaks about. Like today was a defining moment in his presidency. But I think you could say that you have that also in some way. And I don't even say that that's like a good thing. But, and that might be a horrible thing. I don't know. Maybe it means you're too critical. Maybe I'm too critical. Maybe I'm not stopping along the way of life and smelling the roses and enjoying life. Well, I can assure you that's not true. But I do think about these things. These are things that I want to know. I just simply want to know. I want to know what we're being told. Does that make sense? Sure it does. All right. So I haven't been on the chat. I've been actually on Twitter. I didn't know. And I've been on Q drops. So I haven't read the chat. But so nice to see you guys. Hour and 10 minutes, 9 minutes. Okay, I'm done. I'm good. Been on too long. Let's pray for our friends. Pray for our nation. Pray for our president. Pray for each other. And I don't know. Do it in good spirit. Do it in good cheer. Not something I got to do. Oh, I got to pray. I got to go pray. Like, I get to go pray. I get to go pray for my friends. I get to pray for our nation. You're still in a free country. Act like it. Embrace it. Love it. Enjoy it. A lot of people got a lot of shit, a lot worse than you and me. All right. So be happy with what you got. I sound like your grandpa. I'm sorry. Good night.